What is up, everyone? It's your boy Hassan Yas coming to you live from San Diego, California with a very, very special guest. I can't believe he's even here right now. I found out last night. I asked for you to do a podcast, and we have our boy Nicholas Kirchner.
There you go.
You got it right?
That's exactly right.
By the way, it was a little difficult for me because everyone calls you Kirch.
Yeah, that is the name.
Can you please tell us where Kirch came from?
I think it was just natural. People just couldn't get Kirchner out, so they're just like, "What's up, Kirch?"
What happened with Nick? Like, why wasn't that never a Nicholas?
You know, I started going by Nicholas when I got into business. Just I think it sounds a little more professional.
Okay.
And people just took the last name and ran with it. So
Kirch is cool. Kirch gives it like a little it's like a Batman feel, you know?
Hey, I'm about it. I'm about it.
Yeah. So okay, I have a bunch of things I want to ask you. I know we're a little limited on time. I told him I was like, we're gonna go an hour. He's like, no, it's too much. That's okay. We're gonna get 30 minutes of straight raw.
Let's do it.
Fire value. Okay. First thing I want to ask you, where are you from?
You mean where was I born or grew up?
Yeah, born and grew
up. Born in New Jersey, grew up in Wisconsin.
New Jersey, where?
Like an hour north of Trenton.
Really?
Yeah.
So my biggest dealer's in Ewing.
Okay.
Is like right next to Trenton-ish.
To be fair, I moved when I was 2.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Never mind.
My geography is not the best in New Jersey, but.
And then Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Majority of your life.
Majority of my life, and then Colorado, Tennessee.
Nice.
So
you just recently moved to Tennessee. What was that like, or what is it like?
It's great. I mean, it's definitely different than the mountains of Denver, but a lot more to do. Food scene's great in Nashville, so plenty to do and see there too.
I like Nashville because Kirch, Josh, and Adam are there.
Oh well, that warms the heart.
Other than that, Nashville's cool.
It's
all right. I'm Cali.
I mean, I like California, to be fair. It's hard to not be biased.
Okay, by the way, you are my first marketing podcast.
No way.
So I've done like a lot of athletics. Some of my coaches, our old videographer that we used to work with, one of my old bosses. But part of the podcast was like, we're going to do everything marketing.
Cool.
Okay. So first thing I want to ask you. So by the way, guys, Kirch is lives and breathes marketing. He's in marketing. He does marketing consulting as well. So I think this is a great first guest to have about marketing. But before marketing, who was Kirch in high school? Did you have a dream of I want to become a marketer, or were you in sports? What were you doing?
You know, in high school, funny enough, I thought I was going to go in the military. And it's funny because we're in San Diego and Coronado is right over here where the SEALs train.
Yeah.
I fully thought I was going SEAL pipeline and was going to do that. Wow. And so the fact that I ended up in marketing and online business is
what happened? So you were
total 180.
Not ever doctor, lawyer. You were just I'm just gonna. Was somebody else in your family in served?
Yeah, my uncle was. He was a commander in the Navy, and so basically I was just well, if I'm not 100% in on the military route, and I have any doubt that I want to do anything else, I believe that pipeline's probably just too hard, and I would quit. Right. Yeah. So decided to pursue the business route. Went to 1 year of college. Okay. And called my mom the first week. Said, "Hey, I'm dropping out." I was like, this is not for me. I just felt like it moved too slow. Okay. And I'm a self-learner, self-starter.
This was in Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And and then just self-taught. And that's kind of how I got started.
You dropped out, and then you're like, oh, I'm just going to look for other different things. Can I make money online? What was that mindset?
So, I mean, I was trying a bunch of different stuff in my first year of college out of my dorm room. So I tried all the avenues that, you might assume. So selling on Amazon and day trading and selling ebooks and, launching funnels and low ticket info, just all kinds of stuff.
What year was this?
This was in 2016. 2016.
What was your first, you're trying all these things. What was your first thing where you're oh, this works, or oh, I can make money?
Honestly, it was just learning the skill of Facebook ads at the time. I was like, okay, this is going to be big. It already is working for people. If I can do this for local businesses, online businesses, I think I have something here. Yeah. So I got a sales job, cold calling for AT&T to pay my bills. Okay. And then when I got home from my cold calling job, I made more cold calls to local businesses saying, who handles your marketing? Give me a shot, basically. Yeah. And that's how I got started, dude.
How'd you learn Facebook ads?
Spent some of my own money from my job on a Shopify store. I did like drop shipping jewelry stores. That was another like
Nice.
one of the models.
Okay.
So I cut my teeth with that, and lost plenty of my own money, which back then, even $1,000, that was a ton of money to me, and that hurt. But that's really how I learned, and then got into local. So did some chiropractic, dentists, all the like local lead gen agency niches you would think of now, but it was like all over the place.
Okay.
And I didn't decide to focus in until I started seeing success with e-commerce stores and also info products. Those were like my two.
That was your two niches.
Two niches, yeah.
Facebook ads for e-commerce and
coaches, consultants, like info, like webinars, VSLs, that kind of stuff.
How did you know you got good at it? Was there results wise where you're like, oh shoot, the business spent this much money and now they're making this much money, or this ad, like how are you?
Yeah, exactly. Like tangible proof. So money in, money out. And once I learned how to change the levers and pull different levers in that machine and either optimize it, make it more profitable, scale the business, I was like, okay, I got something here, and I can take this skill set to other industries where it's even more valuable, right? Because there's businesses out there where, you might spend $1,000 in ads and that might not even be one customer, right? But that customer could be worth, $500,000, where there's other businesses where you can get customers for $5, but they're only worth 10 or 15 over their lifetime. So it's like every business has its own mechanics and its own, customer acquisition cost, lifetime value. Yeah. And there's definitely businesses that it's easier to make those systems work for than others.
Sure.
So it was really a matter of like, for me, what do I enjoy working on, and where do the mechanics make sense? Like e-commerce, I get that customer, I can make them worth more over time.
And you can track it very easily.
Yeah, easily trackable. Same thing with info products, right? Like I might be getting cost per qualified call of like $300 to $500, right? And I know that customer, when they convert, if the sales team's good, that could be 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 grand.
Yeah.
So I like things with asymmetrical, kind of upside. And like back then, Facebook ads, as Gary Vaynerchuk was just telling us, is like, it was so cheap that you didn't even have to be that good.
Right.
Like if I go back, like I probably wasn't that good.
Sure.
But I caught the moment and I worked hard at it and it works out.
Nice. And you still run Facebook ads today?
Still a practitioner today.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. What would you say has changed now you've been doing now for 8 years, I think?
Almost 10, yeah.
Almost 10. What's different now about running meta ads compared to when you first started?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, creative, absolutely everything. Back then, like you literally could do the most dog shit stock photo and it would print money. Yeah. And you'd be like, this is ridiculous. This is the best thing ever. Yeah. Now the rules of the game have gotten much harder. Sure. And you truly do have to be an expert in creative. Yeah. You also have to be an expert on the channel. But then also more than ever, you have to know offers. Sure. You have to know every aspect of the funnel. Yeah. Whereas before you could get away being just really good at one thing. Sure. And that even goes for media buyers now. Like I think if you're just a media buyer and you're only in the account and you're not looking at anything else, you're probably not a very good media buyer. Yeah. Because you just have to look at every aspect of the funnel to really understand.
100%. So I've known you since Hydra. Yeah. But I know you've done a lot of things before Hydra. Yeah. Could you kind of take us through, you were doing agency work, right? You were doing your e-commerce and info products, running meta ads. Yep. How'd you go from that? And can you tell us what happened through that until you got to Hydra?
Yeah, totally. So grew the agency that was e-com and info for about 2 years. Okay. And then I sold it to a larger agency in Milwaukee.
Can you tell us how that happened? I think that's a lot of people look up to that kind of stuff.
For sure. So it wasn't really an expected thing. Like I wasn't building it to sell per se. Yeah. But there was this agency that was very, very heavy creative, but no performance. Right. So all art, but no data. Sure. And so I came in there as a consultant and they wanted to learn how to run Facebook ads.
You already branded yourself as a consultant at that time as well? Or they just knew you?
No. Actually, I found it was a Facebook group that I found this guy in, and he made a post. I think it was Facebook ad buyers at the time, which like if you're a Facebook OG, like
I've hired some good talent from these random Facebook
Yeah. So basically someone made a post like, hey, I'm looking for a Facebook ads consultant. We're
Yeah.
trying to learn this for our agency. And we're out of Milwaukee. And I was like, what are the odds this person's an hour away?
Yeah.
Nobody is in Wisconsin that's in digital marketing, right? And so I responded, and like, a week and a half later, we set up a meeting, and they ultimately ended up hiring me to teach their team and train their team from scratch on ads. And then the relationship just grew and grew, and it became a matter of like, hey, would you be interested in us buying you?
Yeah.
And, being a part of the leadership team and ownership.
Sure.
And I was, a little bit hesitant at
Yeah.
the start because I had a really good thing going and I was growing and I was in my momentum. But they were working with a lot bigger clients,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
And for me, I was working with D2C stores, I was working with info, but I wasn't touching like Fortune 500,
Sure.
Fortune 100 clients. And there was kind of this like allure there because in the agency world, you're always chasing like the biggest names
Yeah.
and what names give you the most credibility. And like, oh, I worked on that campaign. I built that piece of creative, whatever. And I wanted a bite at that apple. So that's what they brought to the table.
Yeah.
And so it was more of like a strategic decision for me
Yeah.
of like, what do I want for my career, my track record, and my experience, more so than just purely the money at that time.
And
right?
what was that like? Did they like purchase your customers, or did you have a team where they're like, how did that roll up like happen? Is it like, hey, we're just gonna give you a salary, and whoever you have now, those customers are under us?
Yeah. So the thing that was great is they already had a lot of the talent on their team.
Okay.
And I was structured mostly with freelancers at the time, right?
Yeah,
So really, really profitable.
I resonate with this so much.
Yeah. Very, very flexible. So I had some things delegated,
Yeah.
but I didn't have like a huge full-time team or anything.
Yeah.
So I was able to just roll my clients onto their labor essentially. And that worked out really, really well. And then I, just led that department. I came on as president and co-owner.
Nice.
And stayed on there for 2 years.
Nice.
And really played like the enterprise game. Continued to do D2C e-com.
What was the learning or like mindset shift? Because you went from like these like, I would say minnows or like smaller fish to now you're like working with like whale clients.
Yeah.
Did you have to learn more to have a different posture?
For sure.
Because by the way, I feel like you have like you have a certain posture about you. You're like it's more like clean, sharp, and you kind of like command a little bit. Like you have a different energy about you. So was that learned?
Yeah. I think it was. I think I've always been a little bit more of like a serious like demeanor.
Stoic.
But yeah, sure. But the thing is, when you go the enterprise route, like mind you, I was in, boardrooms in New York City when I was 21 years old. Like I could barely drink. I'm meeting with MGM Grand to do like, a launch for one of their hotels.
Yeah.
And, lead that campaign. And, there's this really like piece of like, why am I even in this room? Like I'm so young, like why would these executives listen to me, like whatever. And so a couple things, right? Confidence is everything, which is more of like just a soft skill, right?
Sure.
But to your point, you do have to have the presence and the poise to say, hey, I'm here, I have the confidence, I can get you this result, I know what I'm doing, right? So that's step number one, because that's who they're used to working with, right? Step number two is everything that you're charging right now, you need to 5 to 10x your price.
Yeah.
Because if you roll into an enterprise client with your SMB rates, they're going to be like, is this a joke?
We charge $2,500 a month.
Yeah, is this a joke? Like they don't even believe that you're good.
Sure.
And so something I talk a lot about now is that your price is your positioning in some ways, right? And so, we would walk into these companies and understand that they're paying, $25,000, $50,000 for 10, 20 static graphics, in some cases from these big, New York City, Madison Ave type agencies. And, agencies nowadays are starting to chip away at that market share, right? Because of, highly specialized teams on certain channels and certain types of creatives and media and all of that, which is cool. But you definitely got to learn how to walk the walk with those with those enterprise people, because it is different. They're used to something different. So what they want is they want that new age sizzle, but they want that old age comfort. They want to know that the dynamics of how they work and the internal politics and all of those things that go into it. When it comes to them hiring agencies and also why they buy is totally different. Like understand that the person hiring you might be a VP of marketing or a CMO. Their priority is not getting fired.
Yeah.
by hiring you.
Right.
So you need to make sure that you make them look smart.
Yeah.
Like they made a good decision, like they found a hidden gem.
Yeah.
Because if you blow it,
Yeah.
well, guess who's next?
Yeah.
Them, right?
Yeah.
So they just want to look good to their seniors a lot of times.
So I have to ask this question. I'm gonna share a personal story. So like when I first started my agency, I somehow accidentally landed like this $1 billion company. It was like through a referral, and the retainer was like I think 10 grand. It was like the most money I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I do this meeting with them, and we're running Facebook ads for hiring because they had an issue with hiring.
Sure.
And the CMO came on the call, and you know me, like for the most part, you kind of know I kind of joke around and stuff.
Yeah.
He's on the call, and I have their website up, and I was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know your website sucks, man." And I was like, it wasn't going through my head where like, okay, you're not supposed to talk to those kind of people like that.
Like that.
That was one. That was a big learning lesson for me. Number two was working with. After that, I actually didn't want to work with clients like that because what they cared about wasn't what I was doing in like lead gen and e-commerce. Like it was so much more fun and there was less red tape. And like this one, they were like, "Hey, we just want the numbers. That's it."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Dude, I want to explain to you." So like, I never liked that.
Mm-hmm.
What did you like more? Did you like those enterprise level clients more? Or did you like the smaller guys you used to work with? Or do you have a preference?
They really both have their pros and cons. Like your enterprise people, the billings are bigger. In some cases, they're actually impressed with less. And they have lower expectations.
Which is correct.
Because it's also not their last dollar.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like 10K, it's like whatever.
Yeah,
like,
it's a rounding error on the balance sheet. Like it does not matter to them.
Yeah.
Whereas the smaller guys, that's when you're getting the text like, "Hey, why is performance down today?"
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
And you're like, that comes with a whole host of things. So it's kind of pick your poison.
Yeah.
For me, I think I enjoy the more enterprise energy because it's a game, it's a hunt.
Yeah.
Right? It's a long time to win those projects. And it feels very satisfying and cool to work with companies like that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, even that said,
Mm-hmm.
I've reverted back to more of the small business side of things.
Yeah.
Because I'm just a practitioner. I like being able to do more things and be more scrappy and not have to clear legal and, have it go through 5 rounds of revisions before it sees the light of day and all the creativity sucked out of it.
Yeah.
So I like that scrappier approach, and you can do that with small businesses. And you're also a lot more valuable, in my opinion, to small businesses because the impact is so much greater.
Yeah.
Because one campaign can double, triple the business.
Yeah.
Like no joke. Whereas like enterprise, like what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Incremental, maybe squeeze a little bit more here or there, but.
So you were doing that. You were the president of that side of the company
Mm-hmm.
it was a president, not full president, like the president of the the media buying side?
No, of the whole company.
Of the whole company. Wow. Okay. What was that transition like, or what was next from there?
Yeah. So
you did it for 2 years?
Yeah, stayed on for 2 years at the larger agency. And then I was kind of like, hey, I don't know if there's really anything else on the agency client services side that I have an appetite to pursue right now. Right. So I kind of was like, okay.
Why is that? Do you feel like you kind of...
Well, I always, like I said, that working with big clients was alluring and it was cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is that like?
Yeah.
And once I scratched that itch, I was like, okay, so this is the whole game.
Yeah.
Like you start to see it where it's like, all right, I'm going to hire more people. I'm going to hunt more clients. I'm going to deal with these types of conversations.
Sure.
And it didn't feel fresh or new or exciting anymore. And, by no means did I, grow a $300 million company like Gary Vee did in the space. But you start to learn those rules of the game. And it's like, is this a game I want to play for the next 10 years?
Sure.
And for me, that answer was no.
That's good.
So ultimately, I left and actually partnered up with one of my clients at that agency. And we thought we were going to do private equity investing.
Is this Josh?
No, this is not Josh.
Okay.
And so Josh and I, though, were talking at that same time because our agencies work together. So Welling
Yeah.
and Margle.
Margot was the one you're president
Yeah,
of.
correct.
two
We
work
worked together, and
Okay.
they did a lot of the white label creative work for us.
Okay.
And so that's how we met, got close. And so we were in conversations at that point too. And that's when we decided, hey, like, let's go forward and do this consulting
What happened with the
thing.
private equity thing?
Yeah. So
Failed?
basically, every entrepreneur has their
Yeah.
graveyard, right? And I think it was just a little bit too early for us, but we ultimately said, okay, you know, we want to invest in consumer products businesses, but we're going to put our money on the line first and vet this out, prove to the founders that we're the right people, and, you know, scale them through marketing. And then obviously there's funding with that.
Yeah.
So kind of expertise and capital.
Yeah.
Long story short, we got down the road with a couple of projects.
Yeah.
They ended up, you know, not going through, and we kind of sat back and reevaluated, like, all right, what are we good at?
Sure.
What do we want to do? And that's when we really came up with the idea for HOWL, the portable propane fire pit line. And we were like, hey, you know, we have all the skill sets to make this thing come to life. And that's how the brand side was born.
Yeah.
But the thing with
So question for you. Actually, finish that thought.
No, yeah, but the thing with brands is, you know, that's an investing game. That's
100%.
not going to pay off for a long time.
Yeah.
So really, where Josh and I came together is like, okay, what can we do for agencies, both having been ex-agency owners, and come together and do something on the consulting side, because that's also an itch I always wanted to scratch.
Okay, so two questions. I know I cut you off. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
The HOWL company.
Yeah.
Where'd you meet that guy? That was
so he was a client of mine.
a client.
Yeah.
And then was he already doing that company? Or
no.
Okay.
No.
You guys just ended up connecting.
Yep.
And then you guys started doing HOWL.
Yep. Started from scratch. Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk about HOWL for a little bit. But before we do, Josh, I think Josh is a really cool dude. I want to ask you about either finding a business partner, or like, I feel like you guys mesh well, where it's like a Batman Robin kind of thing.
Sure.
Where he kind of is like face, you're in the back doing all this. I actually never even knew you existed.
Okay.
But then I saw, I was like, oh, these two guys. What was it like finding Josh, or how did that? Because it's one thing to be like, hey, you're really cool clients. Another thing, like, hey, dude, let's work together, let's partner, let's do a big business.
Yeah. You know, I think you really have to be aligned with someone at a values level.
Sure.
For business partners, because I think unless you value the same things and you want the same things, you're not rowing the same direction.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we have a quarterly partnership meeting where we still verify, hey, this is what you want. This is where we want to go. This is what we want to build. This is what I want my life to look like. This is what I want to be involved in day to day. This is what I don't want to do.
Wow.
And I think once you both look at the business as like, this is a game,
Yeah.
and we write our own rules to the game, and we can either hire people or systemize things or delegate things in a way where we're both in our zone of genius and we're only doing what we want to do.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I still do a lot of things that I don't care to, but you know, it's what the business requires of you. You're always going to have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really comes down to values, and we are in lockstep on values. So that makes everything else easy.
Yeah.
Right. Because you can have that blind trust.
Sure.
And I was actually watching this documentary about the United States Air Force Thunderbirds.
Okay.
And I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent,
okay.
but hold on for a moment.
Okay.
But these guys, you know, they go around, they do these air shows, and they fly, you know, their wings like 6 inches to a foot apart.
Yeah.
And any little wrong move, if anyone's not looking where they need to be looking, everyone's dead.
Wow.
Right. And so their biggest core value is blind trust. And basically that I can be looking this way, and I know you're looking this way, and I trust that you're reacting appropriately to whatever I can't see.
Yeah.
And I think that's so critical. And if you can find someone like that, you just lock arms and go, you know, and that's how you can move quick, because you're not sitting there thinking, is this person doing what they need to be doing? Are they working hard enough? Are they, you know, treating people with respect and kindness and how I would want to lead? You know, you don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah.
So figure out values, and then the rest falls into place.
It's amazing. Okay. Hydra.
Yes.
You guys created Hydra.
Yep.
I have a lot to say about Hydra. Can you please tell me where the word and name Hydra came from?
Yeah, so
I still don't know.
Yeah, we're into Greek mythology.
Okay.
And so, you know, Hydra, obviously like a mythological figure. And you know, kind of the way that we explain it is like an agency or a business has a lot of different departments, a lot of different heads, right? And Hydras have, you know, 5, 6 heads, or
Sure.
or multiple heads, and it's like, okay, how do we tackle each one of those?
Okay.
And so that's kind
That's
of
how Hydra was
the
born.
loose.
I think you guys have a cool logo too.
Oh,
That's
thank you.
cool.
I appreciate it.
Okay, do you know the story of how I got into Hydra? I don't know if I ever told you.
No, I don't
Maybe
think
you did.
no.
This is really cool. It's kind of emotional. It's not emotional. It's kind of emotional.
Don't cry.
Okay.
Don't cry.
Check this out. I always felt like I was by myself. Even when you're sharing me this partner story, I always dream about having a partner and like working with someone. Inshallah, down the road. Inshallah, happen. I was always looking at your guys' content where you guys were doing these workshops. And I would see like the Facebook, and then I would start following people. So the way I wanted to get better at marketing, I just in life, I was like, oh, let me just follow the people that are really good at it.
Sure.
So I found Eddie.
Sure.
Right. And then I saw Josh. And then I saw like, I always thought this Hydra name was so cool. I was like, dude, this is some like secret thing. Like, this is crazy. And I would always, so then anyone I would see speaking at your guys' event,
Sure.
I would just start following them.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, one day I'm going to go to one of those events. Like I like scrapped the agency when I first started, it was like charging $500 for Facebook ads.
Yeah.
Right. And then so you do another platform. Okay. That's another 500. Okay.
Yeah.
How can I get you to 2,500? Like that's what I was doing. And then I was like finding more people doing stuff.
Sure.
So for maybe it was like maybe 2 years, I would just wait for the next event. What would make sense? And finally, bro, it just made sense. And the reason I went to Hydra, one, I was already sold on it because I was watching so much content, but I love that you guys did these like open laptop things. And I was at that point in my agency, I needed so much help. And I was like, dude, when we talk about like underpriced, I was like, okay, they're charging this much, but maybe I can go. I was like, they're not going to sell me on anything because I'm just going to go and solve everything there.
Yeah.
And when I went there, dude, it was like I met Adam. Adam was like, I met Adam at Agency Founders. And then that was another reason why I ended up going to the workshop. But when I went there, it was just amazing. We spoke, we talked about other stuff, so many stuff that you were saying. You're like, P&L. I was like, P&L, what's P&L? Like, there's so much stuff. And I think that what you guys do at Hydra, when we talk about like actual, like, as much value as possible. Like for me, it was kind of like drinking out of a fire hose. Because it was stuff I had nothing, I didn't know anything about. But that being said, the reason I did that is because like I was watching Josh's content. I thought the guy was super cool. So I was actually already sold going into Hydra.
Yeah, I love it.
So
I love it. That's the power of content.
And then being there in person and meeting everyone, it's like, even coming here, it's like you got to talk to somebody that speaks your language, you know?
Yeah, it's infectious.
I was very happy.
It's infectious. Yeah. I mean, building alone is hard.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it because, and also too in your life, depending on who you have in your life, you don't want to pour all your problems on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And very few people understand the challenges of what agency owners, but just entrepreneurs in general, what we deal with, the stress of it, the problems of it, and how that affects you personally. So, when you have people who speak your language, understand your struggles, it makes everything easier and you don't feel as alone. And I think there's something to be said for that.
And I feel like you guys don't, because you guys are practitioners and you come from the space, it didn't feel like you guys were like selling. You guys, I could trust you more because I knew you actually have been there. Yeah. So you guys have that. And then you guys have also you guys have audited so many other agencies where I was like, okay, this guy's not making something up.
Yeah. And I think, this is no shade to anyone in info, but I think there's such and has been such a rise of people, teaching things that they haven't done.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really tough thing for me to get my head around personally.
Yeah.
And so, the reason that I waited so long to start teaching other people how to grow a type of business, I had to feel confident that like in any situation, I'm giving really good contextual advice for where this person is at. And because at the end of the day, you're dealing with, someone making a decision based on what you say. And if you have that trust, it's your responsibility to make sure that you are guiding them in a way that is in their best interest and rooted in a place of like, this is truly what I believe to be the best course of action based on what I know, what I've experienced, and what I've trialed and erred in the past.
100%.
And if you can answer that, I think you can sleep well at night if you're consulting or you're in info of any kind. But I think when you start trying to teach things you haven't done, that's where the line gets
100%,
fuzzy.
100%.
Yeah.
I want to share I think my biggest takeaway from working with Hydra, I worked with you guys for like 6 months or so. This is a very interesting situation. And maybe I'm going to come back. I don't know yet. You have it on camera. I don't know yet. My biggest takeaway, and I think this was huge, not just for my business, but also in my personal life. was I thought I was a super smart guy and I had this crazy offer, right? Well, we'll do it for free. Or it was like $500. And I remember you were looking at me, you're like, bro, you're not doing free work anymore. You don't have to prove yourself. You already know you're the best that does this. You're not doing that anymore. And you need to charge more. And like that was such a big like positioning aha moment, but also like a self-worth moment where I was like, wait, I am good at this and I deserve to charge more.
Yeah.
That was it was like agency, but it was like life. Like, hey, I'm good at this. You don't have to doubt yourself. You can charge. So now in my head, I'm like, I'm going to charge as much as possible because I know I'm the best.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about positioning or even offers or like how you maybe should value your agency or even pricing and how that might be a reflection of the owner themselves?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, no one's going to increase your price for you. No one's going to willingly pay more unless you are worth it. So if you don't even believe that you're worth that, how are you going to get anyone else to believe that you're worth that? Yeah. And at the end of the day, if you can reverse engineer the math, and I've done it hundreds of times before, why wouldn't you be confident in charging more? So either you haven't done that work or you don't have the experience yet to command those kind of rates and have the confidence behind what you're saying, in which case you just need more reps, right? Yeah. And so over time, as your agency matures and grows, you should be increasing your prices. Yeah. You should be taking a bigger percentage of the upside because your expertise is commensurate with that. And I see some people they spend their clients' money for their clients. Let your clients spend your money. Spend their own money is what I'm saying.
Can you break that down so I understand?
Yeah. So I know that was kind of a mouthful, but what I'm at the core of what I'm saying, it's that you go in there and say, this is what it's going to take to get from point A to point B. Don't go in there and shoot yourself in the foot before they can even say no or push back, right? You're concerned with getting the most amount of yeses. Okay. I'm concerned with charging what I need to actually grow my business and have the best talent, because a downstream effect of not charging enough is you're not going to have a good team. You're not going to be able to afford the best stuff. And in turn, your results are going to suffer. Yeah. Right. So understand that charging more money makes everything else easier. Yeah. Better quality clients, better quality team. Yeah. It's just a better way to run a business. Yeah. Right.
You know, one thing you guys do, and it's like this way that you guys do it, and I really respect it, is like, you guys, like the work you guys do. So one, you guys always provide value, but like you also will charge, like let me give you an example. If you want to work with Adam a little bit more, you have like an hourly rate attached to it. Yeah. And for me, I always do free work. With the way that you guys do it, I don't know if this is like intentional, but like I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely. I don't even thinking about it. But for when I would do this stuff, I'm like, oh, let me just do it for free. He's my friend. Or we're close. Like I got you. Yeah. I really like that you guys charge. Is there a reason, or is there something behind that?
Sure. Yeah, I think people take things more serious if it's not free. I think free does diminish the value of what you're communicating. Yeah. And also, I'm in the advice business. Yeah. Right. And so that advice is worth something. If I give it to you for free, you're probably like, I could get that anywhere, or I could find that on YouTube. Yeah. But what you're paying me for is the experience and knowing your context. Yeah. Right. Because you can get the answer to anything nowadays for free. Yeah. But what you can't get is the specific expertise to where your business is at right now from someone who has been there and done that a million times. Yeah. And that's where the value is. And that's why we charge for it.
And I respect it too, because now when you think about that hour or whatever it is, now you're like, okay, let me make sure I structure this right as well. Let me actually think about what I'm going to ask. What's my
also let's be totally honest with free stuff. Yeah, you're not trying as hard. You're not sure, in the beginning you might be doing your absolute best work for free, right? Because that's the price of admission. That's what you need to get in the game. Yeah. But if you tell me that you are going to try as hard on a $1,000 a month project as you are a $50,000 a month project, I struggle to believe that. So it gets investment from both sides. Yeah. Because what's equally unhelpful is if I give it to you for free, you're not really incentivized to even go action it. Yeah. But if you pay 10, 20, 50 grand, you're probably going to try it because you want the return on that investment. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it's two sides of the coin.
Gotcha. By the way, we're at 30 minutes. Are you okay going 10 more minutes?
Yeah, we can go 10 more.
Okay. So Hydra.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw you some hard questions, but I think you can answer them.
Okay.
Hydra is a consulting company for marketing agencies, helping them scale from either from 0 to 10K or 100K to what?
I would say like our most
Yeah.
common bracket is $500,000 a year to north
Okay.
of 10 million a year.
Okay.
That's like the most common trajectory we work with.
Why work with Hydra, a marketing consulting company, when I could just go to ChatGPT and try to figure it out and ask ChatGPT?
Sure. Once again, I think it comes down to context,
Okay.
right? ChatGPT doesn't have all of your unique context. It doesn't have a view into everyone on their team, on your team,
And doesn't matter
and
how
their-
much you prompt it.
and their personality
Yeah.
and client situations and all of the nuance that goes into running an agency,
100%.
right? I can't say, hey, here's my pitch deck for this client.
Yeah.
Here's my sales call. Make sure that this is perfect
Yeah.
and make sure it's tailored toward this type of client.
Sure.
Whereas, with us, if we've worked with that exact type of business before,
Yeah.
we know all the pitfalls that could possibly come up, exactly what to watch out for, exactly how to price it where it's going to be congruent
Yeah.
with who you're pitching. And I'm just using that as an example,
Yeah.
but it comes down to context,
Yeah.
right? So that's, I think, the primary difference.
What have you seen? Like now, how many agencies have you guys worked with, or even audited?
Yeah, I mean, it's north of 250
Amazing.
between everyone we've talked with, worked with in some form or fashion, right?
Is there any like common truths that you found now where you're like, dude, I've seen this is such a trend that like it's almost like a broken record. We're like, guys, you need to stop doing this, or like, look, when people are doing this, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the moment that you are sacrificing your ability to do business development to stay in client fulfillment too long, the amount of agencies I've seen plateau, stall, or die in that zone are plentiful. So you need to know when it's time to start hiring and start delegating and put yourself back in the highest value seat in your company. Understand you are costing yourself a lot of money by doing things that you should have graduated from already. And you're paying that debt, right?
Yeah.
I would learn it yourself.
Okay.
I think there's no higher leverage skill set than learning how to market and sell something.
Yeah.
Right. And all the value is always closest to the point of money or revenue creation in a business. Why are salespeople the highest paid person in an org chart? In some cases, more than a CEO.
Yeah.
Not always,
Sure,
right?
Sure.
Barring, like enterprise, compact, whatever. But why are salespeople paid so much? Well, they're the closest to the money.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing with performance marketers. Why are we well compensated?
Yeah.
Well, because I have the ability to take raw attention and turn it into money for a business. And that's the fundamentals of it,
I love it. Okay. So for 2025, coming in 2026, why should an agency partner with Hydra? What do you guys got cooking, and why does it make sense for an agency?
Yeah.
Who is the right fit?
Yeah.
And why does it make sense?
I think if you're an agency owner that that there's more out there, there's more growth to be had, that there's untapped potential, and maybe you just haven't built a business to a scale where okay, my next 5 moves is 1, 2, 3, et cetera. And you want a path that's been tried and true.
Sure.
Obviously, there's no guarantees. Obviously, every business is unique. Obviously, it's very subjective on people's energy and effort and diligence and all of that. But there is something out there that you should be doing right now to grow your business, and you probably either don't know it exists or you're turning a blind eye to it because you're distracted with something else. And what we partner with founders on is getting that clarity and saying, here's what to do next.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you? Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, so good fit. Anyone who's 20K a month plus.
Okay.
We need some sort of validation that what you're doing is working.
Nice.
And then the rest is pretty straightforward, at least for us.
And is it what can you expect? Are you working in person? Is it Zoom calls? Is it events?
So we're doing two different ways right now. First one is our DNA Days, which are in-person intensives.
Okay.
2 days. You fly into Nashville, and we teach you our methodology on how we build and scale these types of businesses.
Amazing.
Overall operating framework. And then the second day is all customized to exactly what you need in your business right now. So we download all the context ahead of time. So you're not coming in and you have to explain everything to us. We already know. And then we're presenting our plan for, hey, when you leave here, whether you work with us or not, here's exactly what you should do.
That's so awesome.
Step by step. And then all of our proven systems to go ahead and execute.
I love it.
Yeah.
I've been to in-person events with you guys. I think I'm biased, but I think they're absolutely amazing. It changed my business. And I went to 2 of them actually. I went earlier this year and one last year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, this one last year, the biggest thing that stuck with me was this trust recession thing.
Yeah.
I was like, trust recession. And then I was like, content. I have to start making content. And I was just showing you earlier, dude, it's changed. It's helping me now. Like I have a name for myself in marketing.
Yeah. Yeah. And it expands everywhere else, you know?
Okay. I'm going to just riff off a few quick, easy questions.
Please.
I'm super into camping. I legit, I just came back from Havasupai Falls.
Okay.
And then I was on a canoe. I did a canoe trip in the Current River in Missouri.
Yeah.
Tell me about HOWL. Am I saying it right?
Yep.
And how could I use it to my advantage? I do a lot of backpacking.
Okay. Cool.
Sell me on it.
Yeah, no doubt. So we have 2 different units.
Okay.
One of them is made for cold weather.
What is it, by the way? What is HOWL?
Yeah, it's a portable propane fire pit company. So we have 2 different units right now. Our larger one, our R4, heats up to 1,300 degrees. Okay. You know those like restaurant tube heaters that keep you warm outside?
Yeah.
So we basically miniaturized that. Made it so it doesn't need electricity.
Yeah.
And it's 100% ran on propane and air, right? Okay. So it doesn't need batteries, anything like that.
Okay.
Which makes it suitable for harsh environments.
Okay.
Right. So it mimicks the heat of a real campfire.
So let me tell you, I want you to finish that, but let me tell you, I'm a little skeptical, and let me tell you why.
Please.
I got a 1 burner stove.
Yeah.
Like it looks like almost like the ones you have in the kitchen. And I took a ribeye steak with me and I put it on a cast iron and I couldn't even sear the thing. Like it was just like, it was a waste of time.
Yeah.
Will that solve that problem for me if I want to make steaks?
So, because of regulation, I can't say that you can cook on it.
Oh, okay.
But
it's supposed to resemble a campfire.
A campfire, yeah. Okay. So really, what people don't understand about fires is it's not the flames that are keeping you warm. Okay. It's the bed of coals. And it's because your body absorbs that heat completely differently. It's radiant heat. And it actually absorbs into your skin better, creating that warmth. The flames are really just there for the aesthetic.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So that's what the R4 was designed to solve with that radiant heat. And then our smaller unit is just the flames, more the vibe. I want a campfire feel. It's still going to throw off some heat, but it's not made for like super cold weather.
Okay.
You know?
Can you is s'mores good for it?
You probably wouldn't want to do that.
Okay.
Just because, marshmallow in like all of the piping and whatnot.
Now I understand the product better.
Yeah.
So it's perfect for if you want to have a campfire on the go and maybe you're not allowed to do it over there or they have some regulations. You could use this.
Yeah, correct. Yep.
It's very cool.
Burn bans, stuff like that.
Very cool. What does the average unit sell for?
So the bigger one is 1,300. The smaller one is 379.
Do you have one yourself and do you use it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Marketing question. What is one piece of advice you can give to a marketing operator right now? They're running their own marketing agency. Mm-hmm. What's one thing you're like, dude, Hassan, I just want you to give me like secret sauce fire. Like, hey, dude, just at least be doing this. You're doing this. Come DM me 3 months from now and say, hey, Nick, I did this. And this is what happened. Is there anything like that where you're like, hey, you know what?
Man, what's interesting about agency is it's the people who do the best just do the basics really well. Oh, and what makes you advanced is that you do the basics consistently.
Wow. That's so true in all areas of life, by the way.
Yeah. And everyone's looking for that hack. I mean, honestly, like if you put out content, you do good work, you charge what you're worth, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And I don't really have anything to overcomplicate that with. I think if you did what you already knew you should be doing, you'd be getting the result you want. It's only the delta between what you're doing right now and what you know you should be doing.
Yeah.
Making content, running ads,
blah,
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You're just not doing it.
Wow. That was the right answer for the question.
I mean, hopefully that doesn't feel like pie in the sky, like not tactical.
Sure.
But like,
but that's very
if I
tactical.
could give you anything, it would be like, just do what you know you should do.
Yeah. Okay. Personal question. What's next for Kirch? What does 2025, 2026 look like?
Definitely going a lot harder on the personal brand side.
Yeah. Okay.
So
by the way, this guy's like he has this mysterious stoic vibe about him where like now I'm starting seeing, I think you should be making more content. I feel like a lot of people would gel. Like I only knew Josh, legit.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Then when I met you, I was like, dude, I was telling Adam, I was like, dude, this guy's so cool. I don't know how he did. He's like, oh yeah, Kirch is cool. We did this, you know? But yeah, I definitely think like a lot of people will vibe, and you'll find people that are like you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And so, yeah, I mean, I've always been like, let's execute.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, now things have shifted where talking about it is almost not an option.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is me reacting to like what I see
Yeah.
and, you know, wanting to still be relevant in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
marketplace.
yeah.
So, you know, you got to do what you got to do. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of where I'm at.
I love it. Last question. So the tagline for our podcast is do something today that your future self will thank you for.
Yeah.
This doesn't have to be marketing related.
Okay.
What is something someone can do today that their future self will thank them for? Could be anything.
Yeah, I think I've heard this recently from I think it was Jesse Itzler.
Okay.
And are you familiar with Jesse Itzler?
Yeah, very.
And it was really this concept of like no empty seats. And the concept is if you have an empty seat at your dinner table, at a sporting event, at an event like this or whatever, that's a missed opportunity and a missed connection and an opportunity that you could have connected people or, you know, you could have built a relationship for the future on. And so as someone who is going more on the personal brand side, more on, you know, trying to make more connections, things like that, I'm really keeping that front of mind, and your future self is always going to thank you for investing in relationships and people, and also focusing on what you can give. You know, there's so many people that I feel, you know, take, and turns out the more you give, the happier you are.
So true.
The more you're serving people, and also, funny enough, the more opportunities seem to come your way. But it has to be done out of a pure heart. But if you can do that, no matter what industry you're in, no matter what business you have, everything's going to work itself out. And it comes back to like just the fundamentals of like do the simple things well.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't even sum that up. If you guys want to hear that again, just rewind the podcast and let's do it.
Hopefully that made sense.
It does. I want to say thank you for pouring
you.
into me as a business owner and also as a man. And I've appreciated your friendship.
Appreciate you, man.
And I'm excited for what Hydra has in the future. And I'm excited for more content.
Yeah, likewise.
Thanks,
you.
brother. Appreciate it so much.
Appreciate you.
All right, guys. We'll catch you.
We'll see you.